Alright, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the elephant who used to be in the room making very loud noises about how big his approval ratings were. Look, we all know Donald Trump was a polarizing figure, like finding a full-size Snickers in your Halloween candy bag, only to realize it's actually a butternut squash someone painted brown. But, regardless of your political leanings, you can't deny the man signed his name on some pretty consequential legislation. Some might say it was with a big fat Sharpie, but that's neither here nor there. Over the next few minutes, we're going to take a deep dive into 5 key areas where Trump left his mark, and no, I don't mean another Trump Tower. We'll be exploring everything from the economy to the Supreme Court, so buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy, possibly rage-inducing ride. So, let's talk about the economy. Trump loves to talk about the economy, almost as much as he loves to talk about himself. And to be fair, during his presidency, the unemployment rate did hit record lows, particularly for minority groups. The stock market, oh boy, it was like a rocket fueled by deregulation and tax cuts, soaring to new heights. But hold your applause, folks, because not everyone was invited to this economic party. Income inequality? Yeah, that gap widened faster than a Kardashian's dating history, and let's not forget about the national debt, which ballooned under Trump's watch like a helium balloon filled with broken promises. So was it all sunshine and roses? Not quite. More like sunshine, roses, and a torrential downpour of economic anxiety for a whole lot of Americans. But hey, at least the very wealthy were doing great, which I guess was the whole point. Now let's talk about criminal justice reform, an area where even the most cynical among us might find a sliver of common ground. The First Step Act, a bipartisan bill aimed at reducing mandatory minimum sentences and promoting rehabilitation, was a genuine win. It was a rare moment of unity in a deeply divided Washington, sort of like when everyone agrees that pineapple on pizza is an abomination. This landmark legislation addressed some of the systemic issues plaguing the American justice system, particularly its disproportionate impact on communities of color. Thousands of incarcerated individuals benefited from early release programs and sentencing reforms, giving them a chance at a fresh start. Now, was it perfect? No, far from it. But it was a step, a small but significant step, in the right direction. And in the often gridlocked world of Washington, even a small step can feel like a giant leap. Chapter 3. Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, Trickle Down or Trickle Out. Ah, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, the centerpiece of Trump's economic agenda. This massive tax overhaul promised to unleash the American economy, creating jobs and boosting wages for everyone. It was like a giant piñata filled with tax breaks, but only if you were a corporation, or already quite wealthy. For the average American, the impact was more like finding a penny on the sidewalk. Sure, it's something, but it's not exactly life-changing. And while corporations did see a significant reduction in their tax burden, the promised trickle-down effect on workers, well, let's just say it trickled down about as well as a leaky faucet in a 5-star hotel. So was it a resounding success? The jury's still out on that one, but one thing's for sure, it made the rich richer, which, let's be honest, was probably the point all along. Chapter 4. USMCA NAFTA 2.0 or just a new coat of paint. Trade deals. They're not exactly the sexiest topic, are they? It's like watching paint dry if the paint was drying on a very long, complicated document filled with tariffs and trade barriers. But, love them or hate them, trade deals have a huge impact on our lives, and the USMCA, Trump's renegotiated version of NAFTA, was no exception. So, what did this new deal actually do? Well, it made some changes to the rules governing trade between the US, Mexico, and Canada, particularly in areas like auto manufacturing and digital trade. Supporters argued it would protect American jobs and boost the economy, while critics claimed it was just a rebranded NAFTA with a few tweaks here and there. Was it a revolutionary deal that fundamentally reshaped North American trade? Probably not, but it was a deal nonetheless. And in the world of international diplomacy, sometimes a deal is a deal even if it's not the most exciting deal in the world. Chapter 5. Supreme Court Shuffle, a long game legacy. And now, for the grand finale, the pièce de résistance, the thing that will likely have the longest-lasting impact of Trump's presidency, his appointments to the Supreme Court. 3 justices in 4 years, each one tilting the balance of the court further to the right. Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett. These names will be etched in the annals of American history, for better or for worse. From abortion rights to gun control to the very definition of what it means to be a citizen, these justices will be shaping the legal landscape for generations to come. Love it or hate it, you can't deny the impact of these appointments. It's like winning a trifecta at the races, except instead of horses, it's the future of American jurisprudence. Outro. So, what's the verdict? Well, there you have it, a whirlwind tour of some of Donald Trump's most significant accomplishments. Were they all home runs? Definitely not. Were some of them more like bunt singles that barely made it past the pitcher's mound? Absolutely. But love him or hate him, there's no denying that Trump left his mark on America, for better or for worse. And whether you think his presidency was a roaring success or a dumpster fire of epic proportions, it's crucial to understand the lasting impact of his policies. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the wild world of politics. Thanks for watching.